अभिनव गति के द्वार दे। फिर आज तेरे लोक में दीपक जला है ज्ञान का, अनबुझ नवोन्मेष का, नव ज्ञान का विज्ञान का। हम खोल दे सारी दिशाएं, द्वार नवल प्रकाश के। ऐसा हमारे देश को अविराम तू संचार दे। सर्व विद्या चल रही आलोक के विस्तार में, समाज को गतिमान करके सृजन के व्यवहार में। कल्याण सर्व समाज का सामर्थ्य अपनी भी बढ़े, संकल्प निष्ठा शक्ति दे।
Thank you so much. I now request our guest of honor, Dr. H.P. Singh. Sir, please welcome to the dais. Please come on the dais, sir. Mr. Harshvardhan Bhagchanda. Dr. Minshad Ansari. Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar. Professor Dolly Watildhar. Professor H.S. Gaur. Thank you. I now request our students to please welcome the guests by giving them a bouquet. Dr. H.P. Singh, sir, welcome to Sharda University and to the World BioProtection Forum. Mr. Harsh Bhagchanda, come.
Clap, please.
Dr. Minshad Ansari. Thank you. Now, may I please request Professor H.S. Gaur and Professor Dolly Watildhar to also welcome our chairman, Professor Bhuvnesh Kumar. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We will further welcome our guest to the inaugural ceremony of this World Bioprotection Forum in Summit India 2022 by giving them mementos and shawl from Sharda University as a token of appreciation to coming over to university. So may I please request Professor Bhuvnesh Kumar to present the shawl and memento to our chief guest of honor, Dr. H.P. Singh. Please. So I request you to also give the shawl and memento to Mr. Harsh from IPL Biologicals. Sir, we also want you to give the memento and shawl to the founder and chairman of the World Bioprotection Forum, Dr. Minshad Ansari. On behalf of Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences, we would also like to acknowledge the time spared by Professor Bhuvnesh, and I would request Professor Dolly Vataldhar and Professor H.S. Gaur to please present him the shawl and the memento. Yes, sir, of course. Thank you. Dr. Minshad Ansari established the World Bioprotection Forum, a non-profit organization that encourages collaboration between the biocontrol industry and academia in the agri-tech sector. The goal of WBF is to connect different stakeholders who can work together to ensure the successful development and commercialization of biocontrol products. WBF is the members organization and represent whole biological agriculture globally. Dr. Ansari has more than 25 years of experience in biopesticide technology development, and he is one of the well-known experts in biocontrol sector. He is also the founder and CEO of BioNema Limited, a biopesticide technology developing company in the United Kingdom. Dr. Ansari transformed his academic skills into entrepreneur and successfully developed and commercialized a number of biological products, two of which were recently acquired by Syngenta. Under his leadership, BioNema is today one of the 20 leading biocontrol companies in the world. I now invite Dr. Ansari to welcome the attendees and guests to this summit, please.
Thank you very much, Uzma, for everything.
छोड़ दो केवल इतनी है
I think we are ready now. And I will go with the formalities. Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all here today at the World BioProtection Summit and Award, which is organized by the Sharda University and the World BioProtection Forum. The World BioProtection Forum was created to connect academia and industry for novel innovation. There are three objectives. The first one is to connect different stakeholders so they can work together, bridging the gaps between academia and industry for more innovation. That's what they needed in the market. And the third one is the providing a global platform so that the company can come together as we are here today and they can share the knowledge and the products they have invented. The Global Bioproduction Forum is a very new organization, but it has a big passion. As Uzma has pointed that I have been in industry for a long period of time, and I know the pain and the suffering the industry is facing. I have born in India, but brought more in the Western region, so I know how the things are happening there and what is happening here. So I thought to bring this World Bioproduction Forum to connect and then work together. There is no other way rather than the working together. The World Bioproduction Forum, in a very short period of time, has achieved by appointing 27 international experts. These experts are actually advising in pertinent matters, so the World Bioproduction Forum can function. So it's not a single-man organization, it has a very big arms. My vision is to appoint at least 100 advisors from different countries, so we can represent not only in the UK, but we can represent whole world. There are a number of organizations here in the world. The one in the European Union, other one is the US. So we are very limited, and none of the organization actually representing all biocontrol sector. Whereas my vision is to represent through this World Bioproduction Forum whole world. You will see today there are a number of things is going to come. So I'm not going to more detail rather than just welcoming you. We are running a biopesticide regulatory reform in the UK. Recently published a white paper, an authoritative white paper, which has gone very wild. So within a short period of time, many things has been done. The World Bioproduction Forum also recognized the strength of the industry, the brightest achievements. And the World Bioproduction Awards is given to a company who has done a real accomplishment rather than different way of giving the awards. This is the first time in industry. As you see, there are 15 awards, and those are basically given to different sectors, and this is again the first time in the world. I'm very excited to be here today, and hope you are too. This was a meeting which I was discussing with Professor Gaur, and we decided to host a event, but the content of that booklet you see, it's look like a 2 days event, but we try to synchronize in a day one to give you value for money, which you basically need. So I would like to extend my warm welcome to a respected guest here on the dais, Dr. H.P. Singh, Professor Bhunesh Kumar, Dean Research, Sharda University, Professor Dolly Walter Dorr, Dean, Sharda School of Agriculture Science, Professor Gaur, and my friend, Mr. Harish Bardhan here as well, a leading entrepreneur who has done a great job in the sector. So, and welcoming you all over the country who has been here. And I have two colleagues here as well, Dr. Emi Garg, who is traveled from Germany. Welcome you here from my side as well. And you have been welcomed from the India as well. And my other colleague is Carol Pullen is here. And welcome you as well here. And hopefully we are looking forward to see your success this afternoon. There are many colleagues and friends are joining with the virtual platform. So I will welcome them as well. They have been waiting for since last time. So my apology for them for the delay, which was not expected, but finally we got it to the point. So the theme of this conference is the novel bioag technology products for wider markets. This is only designed for Indian company to be in the home as well as in the abroad as well. And as you see from your booklet, the conference has 5 different sessions, which we have organized very carefully, discussing about the global challenges and opportunity the industry is facing. The next, we have innovation, and without innovation, the industry will not move a bit, where we will be looking for the collaboration, and collaboration will lead to the innovation. Our industry is struggling with a regulatory process. I'm sure you all are aware of the regulatory process in European Union, which takes about 5 to 8 years. It takes several millions as well for the registering of products. US and other countries are quite good, but we will be discussing more in detail. Commercialization is very important. So we have the product and we need to expand our reach to the global market. And finally, all of things we have, but if our product is not being adopted by the growers and farmers, then we are not achieving what we are basically meant to do that. So we have again very eminent scientists here, Dr. M.S. Rao, who is going to speak about grower point of view. I think this is a very vital, important point. Thanks to our sponsor and supporters. And I will start with the World BioProtection Forum and the Sharda University, who are the major sponsor and supporter of this event. The next one, IPL Biologicals and BioNema are the 2 platinum sponsor for this event. Absolute is being our gold sponsor, and we have a silver sponsor, Dhanuka Multiplex, Oro Agri, which is now acquired by Ravenza, and NPP, part of the UPL. We have a few silver sponsors, Biotech International, Sri Bio, I have not seen KRK Reddy here, Brinexia, EcoSense is not coming today here, they lost the flight, and PBL Peptech Bioscience. We have a number of supporters from different organizations. I will thank them for disseminating the news, and the several media partners, including our Media Today group. Mr. Nakvi is here. He is His company is a media partner for this event. There are many other whom I want to welcome here, who is not here. And with this, I will actually conclude my opening remarks by saying you that use this WBS India hashtag so that we can disseminate as much as possible news to the wider community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Sharda University is one of the leading centers of education, research, and innovation in Delhi NCR. Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences of Sharda University is a modern institution envisioned to be an academic and research center of global standards. The Dean of the school, Professor Dolly Wataldhar, is a well-established agricultural microbiologist with more than 35 years of academic and research experience. She is known for her contributions in research on enrichment of cyanobacteria, cyanobacterial germplasm, and potential of microalgae for value addition. I now invite Professor Dolly Wataldhar for her remarks and welcoming the attendees to the university, please.
Thank you, Dr. Uzma. Good morning, all of you. I'm extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to address you all on this auspicious occasion. On behalf of Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences, as Dean, I wish to welcome you all for World BioProtection Summit India 2022 on novel bioAG technology and products for wider markets. Connecting the bioAG industry for successful commercialization, organized jointly by Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences, Sharda University, and World BioProtection Forum, Swansea University, UK. The forum focuses on bioAG, bioprotection, biopesticides, biocontrol, biostimulants, biofertilizers, organics, bioremediation. The World BioProtection Forum is a non-profit organization that encourages collaboration between biocontrol industry and academia in the agri-tech sector. Their goal is to connect different stakeholders who can work together to ensure successful development and commercialization of biocontrol products. The Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences of the Sharda University is a modern institution established with a thought of continued accelerated application of science and technology, social connect, and dedicated effort to develop economically and environmentally sustainable technology in agriculture. The course curricula at Sharda School of Agriculture Sciences, research approach, and human resource training have been tuned to address the current and foreseeable local, national, and global needs. Besides small, medium, and large farm agri-horticultural system, the SSAS also aims at peri-urban and urban farming, self-employment, entrepreneurship, and agribusiness in the public and private, national, and international sectors. The highly qualified, trained, and experienced faculty from top institutions, well-equipped laboratories, guided by the dynamic and highly supportive management system, provide the right platform for academic, professional, and personal development of undergraduate and postgraduate students from all parts of India and several foreign countries. I'm profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce and welcome our chief guest and guest of honor, Dr. H.P. Singh, who was former DDG, ICAR, and founder chairman of Confederation of Horticulture Associations of India. Dr. Singh is well known globally for his outstanding contributions to horticulture, agriculture research, education, and development. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation to be our guest of honor for today's event. We look forward to have you again as our chief guest for many more functions like this. Thank you very much, sir. We would be delighted with your expertise and knowledge in every way possible. I am extremely overwhelmed to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Harshvardhan Bagchangda, President IPL Biologists Limited, India. He would be speaking on future of biocontrol in India. Professor Bhuvnesh Kumar, our Dean, Honorable Dean Research, Sharda University, I wish to welcome you, sir. He shall throw light on the research and commercialization in agriculture. Professor H.S. Gaur, Professor, School of Agriculture Sciences, Sharda University, and former Dean, Postgraduate School, and Joint Director, ICAR-IRI, India, we welcome you, sir. He shall be speaking on the important topic of linking academia, industry, and policymakers to accelerate bioprotection for sustainable agriculture. I wish to welcome the chairman of the organizing committee, Dr. Minshad Ansari, founder and chairman of the World Bioprotection Forum, Swansea University, UK, and founder and CEO of BioNema UK. He shall be talking about challenges and opportunities in BioAG bioprotection sector. I bid a very warm welcome to all other renowned speakers, delegates, participants who took out their valuable time and joined us today to be a part of this summit. We all are honored, sir, and truly delighted with your presence. The schedule of the seminar will focus on global problems of agriculture sustainability. It will concentrate on the major issues, solutions, long-term effects associated with agriculture and protection from pesticides. The different sessions will be on global challenges and opportunities, food security, consumer demand, and regulatory issues. Innovation, product formulations, innovative technologies, products and services, addressing global challenges through innovation and collaborations. The third session would be on overcoming regulatory challenges, working towards realistic and achievable biopesticide reforms. Fourth session will be on commercialization, expanding global reach collaboration across industry, academia, investors, and public bodies. And the fifth session will be on technology adoption, farmers, growers, supply chain, technology transfer, case studies. It is pleasure for me to welcome our platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, silver sponsors, and bronze sponsors, and also all our supporters. I wish this summit enlightens us all and provides us with approaches to deal with the problems of tomorrow. This summit intends to resolve practical hurdles faced by the global agriculture. In the end, once again, I would like to thank each one of you for joining us for this one-day event. Looking forward to many more such workshops, engaging more people on a greater level. Thank you very much. Thanks once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Professor H.S. Gaur has more than 40 years of academic and administrative experience and has published more than 300 scientific articles in international journals. Professor Gaur transformed his academic skills to a successful administrator and served as Vice-Chancellor at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University of Agriculture and Technology. He also served as Dean at PG School, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, as well as the founder dean of Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences, Sharda University. I now welcome Sir to give his remarks on linking academia, industry, and policymakers to accelerate bioprotection for sustainable agriculture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Isma. Our honorable guest of honor today, my teacher, Professor H.P. Singh ji, the chairman of the program, Professor Bhuvnesh Kumar ji, all the other dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, dear delegates, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure also to add a word of welcome to all of you to this small but very important international conference, the World BioProtection Summit. So this Sharda University, a global hub now of education in various fields. Except veterinary sciences, perhaps we have opportunities to learn here all different kind of vocations and fields of knowledge. The School of Agricultural Sciences is the newest one, the 14th school of this university. And we have students from almost 80 different countries with nearly 1,200 faculty here, and other campuses of this Sharda University in Uzbekistan, in Agra, and other places. The Honorable Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, in fact, and the Vice Chancellor, they are busy somewhere, could not join us physically, but they are present virtually with us today. They have sent their good wishes to this conference. To say a few words about this conference particularly, friends, I want to just emphasize that the population of the world, not only India but the entire world, is increasing fast still. We are already reached 8 billion mark. We are likely to reach the 9 billion mark by the year 2050. We all know that we need not only food but also clothing, other commodities to cater to the needs of this vast population, besides these livestock and other things. We know that nearly 30% of this produce, or the likely produce, is lost to pests and diseases. We have been mostly depending upon various kinds of natural resources, which have now been degraded and depleting. The climate change is rapid now, much rapid than that it used to be earlier. You see the UN Sustainable Goals, the first three goals, to reduce poverty, to have zero hunger, and to have good health and well-being for the people. They all depend directly or indirectly on agriculture and for pests and diseases particularly, and various other factors limiting our production are something most vital to address these issues. To tackle these problem of the enormous loss due to pests and diseases, we know that there are different kinds of methods, approaches, physical methods, chemical methods, biological methods, and cultural methods, as we classify them in our classrooms. But mainly, our emphasis has been, as a popular mode of management, on the chemical pesticides or synthetic pesticides, especially since the World War II. And we have seen over the time that yes, they have proven, they have given a lot of increases in the yields and all that. They are quick in action, they are spectacular. That's why I get the public appeal to them. At the same time, they are hazardous, they are costly, and they can be hazardous to environment, to health, to our fellow livestock or living beings on this planet. So they are not really sustainable in the long term. So we have to have alternatives, and the alternatives were given by nature to us in the form of various kinds of biologicals, various kinds of microorganisms, various kinds of plant materials. They have been available on the planet, which we did not really recognize to the extent they should have been, and they can be good alternatives to some extent or to a great extent to these chemical pesticides or other things, or synthetic pesticides, as we say. I'm not saying that we can get away with the insecticides at all completely, but to a great extent, yes, we can reduce them. We can reduce their quantities. A country like India, the concern is not so big as the rest of the world. We are using only around 600 grams of pesticides per hectare in India. There are other countries in the world which are using the 13 kilograms or 17 kilograms. Many of the developed countries use much more than us. But yes, India has woken up and shown the path to the world that yes, there are a lot of alternatives, including biologicals, which can be given to the world and to solve some of these menace. This particular conference is a slightly different one compared to the normal routine scientific conferences or the normal routine industrial conferences where exhibitions are held and people come and talk to various kinds of research papers and this and that. Here, this is a focused conference, particularly to bring to one platform the academia, the industry, the particularly the regulators, the policymakers, and also the farmers together to discuss our problems. We know that scientists are involved in basically in identifying, innovating novel technologies, developing effective and reliable fast-acting products and technologies. The role of the farmers is to adopt them, to apply them, and to have more and safer production. The industry has to produce, supply high-quality, safer, cheaper plant protection products or the bioprotection products, and share them and supply them in sufficient quantities in a proper manner at the proper time. And the regulators have the role to regulate the processes of products, development and distribution, and the safety standards, and facilitate the industry also. And the stakeholders, the public, the consumers, workers, traders, environment, they all depend upon the success of all these four basically. Well, there are various kind of problems associated with the plant protection measures, the pesticides or whatever, the risks. Not only biology, not only chemicals. In fact, the risk can be associated with the biologicals also. So I'm not saying that biologicals are completely benign. So we have to be very cautious there also. That's why we need regulation for that. So for risk, we need to assess them to develop methods of avoidance. If there are hazardous products or techniques, we have to find and develop alternative products and also technologies to better use them in a safer manner and safer doses several times. There are high costs which need to be reduced through application technologies or through the cheaper products or the inputs. Conflicts of interest are there between the society, the farmers and the industry. Industry wants to make profit, but certainly they are meant for profit and they cannot survive without profit. But then these problems can be resolved by the mutual understanding, by adopting safer technologies, balancing costs and prices, and the role of scientists and the industry put together, in fact, is very, very important. And the regulators, of course, have to guide them both. There have been long, complicated, and perhaps inappropriate regulatory procedures. Our regulatory procedures so far are depending upon the Indian Insecticide Act, which is basically tuned to chemicals, synthetic pesticides, other things, not so much to biologicals, which need a slightly different kind of treatment compared to synthetics. So the criteria, the procedures, and the speed, they need to be discussed. There is competition amongst industry, and of course industry does have a competition among themselves, and competition is important to progress also for evolution. This World BioProtection Summit, India 2022, aims at bringing the academia, industry, regulators, policymakers on a common platform to understand these problems and to find possible solutions through analysis, collaboration, and cooperation. Generally, industry comes to conferences to exhibit their products. In this conference, they can also learn, and also from their side also they can educate us and be instrument of change in the technology development, regulation, and adoption. Indian Insecticide Act, as I said, is not properly tuned to biopesticides at the moment. Of course, some changes have been made in recent years, and a lot of criteria have been revised and adopted. Manufacturing, storage, transport, application systems popular for the synthetic pesticides are not really suitable for biopesticides. Our trader takes a product, he thinks it's just like any other pesticide. He takes these biochemical products and keeps them somewhere, either long storage or put in the sun somewhere in inappropriate conditions, and the potential materials are lost before they reach the consumer or the applicator or the farmer. The mode and speed of action of the bioprotection products is different from the popular pesticides because they act slowly but steadily. In nature, they have been working. In fact, if you calculate basically the growth rate of any particular organism, it will be covering the entire planet if it is not controlled by biological processes in nature. 99%, friends, the control is done by nature itself. We need to only stimulate that that kind of control and preserve that quality of nature to preserve this planet. Sometimes by our actions we have damaged that process and disrupted that. So there are serious problems of spurious pesticides also in the industry. There is a need for quality regulation and the parameters and the regulatory process to have quality control on biopesticides also. There are cases where biopesticides are mixed with synthetics also many times, just to show them they are more active, fast acting or something. That's really a malpractice. But since the farmers expect a rapid change, which the biopesticides generally are slow but steady in action, so this is something realized on. So these are some things basically. So we have roles for the academia, the industry, and the regulators here in this conference. So I must thank all of you for your kind presence here. And this deliberation of this particular one day, it's a very condensed deliberation, and we all need to learn from each other actually. Scientists have to learn from you, you have to learn from us, and the regulators also. They must know our problems and then go back and try to solve them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We have with us Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar, a distinguished professor and Dean Research, Sharda University. Sir superannuated from Defense Research and Development Organization as an outstanding scientist and Director, Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Science, New Delhi. He has more than 35 years of experience in serving DRDO in strategic locations in central, western, and eastern Himalayas to augment fresh food availability for troops deployed in high mountain regions for their health and well-being. I welcome Sir for his remarks, please.
A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to be here before you this morning for this very important summit, World BioProtection Summit, which is jointly being organized by World BioProtection Forum and this university, Sharda University, a multi-dimensional university having 14 schools under one umbrella, with around 15,000 students strength, and the students from all over the world. Presently, we have students from 68 countries. So this forum and this summit is very important in today's scenario when we are struggling for food security all over the world. As we know, the land is limited and the mouths to feed are unlimited. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you from my core of the heart on behalf of Sharda University to this very important summit. And dignitaries on the dais, Dr. H.P. Singh, Dr. Misad Ansari, Sri Harshvardhan, Dr. Dolly Vittal, and Dr. H.S. God, and of the dais, so many persons who have come from far off places. A really very hearty welcome to all of you, dear participants, exhibitors, faculty members, media persons, students, farmers, I was told, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, it's a great pleasure to participate in these summits and forum where the world is here. And we have to find out the means and ways, various agri practices, with the basic motto, how we can enhance the productivity per unit area. That is the important part, so that we can feed the work-earning population, which is increasing by geometric mean every year. We talk about the research aspect of the agriculture. I have been at Leh for 2.5 years, the director of the institute, which is the world highest institute in the world working on agriculture sector and providing support with the fresh food to the armed forces, taking along with the local farmers. Very working model, very successful model. We had taken the farmers along with and met the requirement of the armed forces, more than 2 lakhs, deployed in high mountain region, starting from 12,000 feet to 22,000 feet. So this was the involvement of the farmers, those who could provide more than 7,000 tons of the fresh vegetables. The model, you know the conditions there, very inclement weather. The temperature goes to as low as minus 20-25. Yesterday I was talking to my colleagues, those who are working in greenhouse technology, what all you are growing therein. The gentleman said, now the indeterminate tomato is flourishing like anything. Flourishing like anything. And the temperature was -8, -9. The day temperature was almost +10 sometimes during moon. Otherwise, it will remain up to May, always in minus. So coming to the agricultural practices, the research base which we are going to discuss today, and we are having this platform to decide what is to be done so that we can take a lead. We should be the technology leader. So conventional and non-conventional both. Conventional, when we talk, we have been leader in the world so far as agri practices are concerned. Our small and marginal farmers have been doing from the centuries. When we talk non-conventional, with the need of the hour today, as I said, we have to feed to this burgeoning population. So the important things are, if we take the research to enhance the productivity and the commercialization, the topic was given to me. Research to enhance the productivity and commercialization of agri products and agri technologies. So one side we are doing how to enhance the yield. There are so many technology involved, so many agricultural practices are involved. And second, this thing is the products we are talking about, based on the several fertilizer, pesticide, this thing, so many things. And also the devices, which I will discuss during my deliberation, how important these have become for non-conventional high-tech agriculture. So all these, they play a very crucial role in today's scenario when we talk about food security of the burgeoning population and contribution of agri sector in GDP. If you read today's newspaper Hindu, it has declined to 6.7% from 7. When we talk about the agriculture sector, which provides the stability to the country, we have been agriculture-based economy, in the Indians. And the recession when came to world, we did not suffer much. The reason was we were so strong, we had the food grains with us to feed, and we did not worry about the recession. In addition, to think to develop this sector in such a way that it makes sustainable livelihood of small and marginal farmers, as I said, and helps generate employment opportunity. So those who are working in this sector, agri sector, they should not look here and there for the employment. They should be self-employed persons, should be the pathbreaker in that sense. We have limited resources, we have limited land to feed unlimited mouth, as I said. Thus, the call today, the call goes for high-tech agriculture, which include various agri practices, various agri technologies, which we are going to discuss today. In this series, we have been talking this precision agriculture, which refers to the use of eco-friendly methods and inputs having minimal negative impact on the environment. In this direction, location-specific crop and livestock management is an example of this. We have got different climatic zones. We have got high mountain, cold desert. We have got hot desert where temperature goes plus 50. We have got northeastern region where we have got high humidity. We have got central this region, the climate differs from other places. So precision, how precisely we can put the input so that we get maximum yield, so that we negate the effect of climate on the plant health. It is a method in which farmers use exact amount of input such as water, pesticide and fertilizer, as we know very well, to enhance the quality and the quantity, the productivity, that is the yield. Different tracts of the land across the farmland have different soil properties, receive different sunlight and have different slopes. Therefore, the same, this thing for the whole farm is insufficient and leads to a wastage of time and resources. MQ, man, mind and money. We lose if we do not understand what the precision agriculture is. To tackle this, agrotechnological solutions should be used, as we are going to discuss today, under precision agriculture to improve profitability while addressing the sustainability challenge. We have to make the life of the farmer, we have to make the agricultural practices sustainable. At the time, we should earn profit out of this agribusiness. Then, very important part comes to agricultural biotechnology. Lot of work has been done world over, including India. We have developed transgenic crops, we have developed so many cultivars, we have done so many things, we are coming to mustard, we have done for cotton. So many things have been done, but the thing remains, very judiciously we have to use the technology, because for the sake of getting high yield, we should not lose our resources as we have lost something what we had. Earlier, we were very happy, we were eating very healthy food. And the next step in this direction is control environmental agriculture. As I have a lot of experience working in high mountain region throughout my life, 36 of years I have served, 26 years in mountain region, right from Ladakh to Tabang. So I have good knowledge of this thing, though I am not an agricultural scientist, but I have worked neck to neck with them. So how we can devise the technological solutions by which we can maintain the congenial temperature which a plant requires, so that we can have fruiting, we can have the yield. So fluctuating the extreme weather events constantly hamper conventional farming, as I said. Further growing crops in populated cities. Now the question comes, when this corona pandemic appeared, where from to buy all these vegetables? We thought, as we have been doing in Ladakh and Siachen sector, this micro farming, micro greens, tire system, in bunkers, in trenches, in their tents. So all these things we utilize wherever there is little sunlight. If not sunlight, we make use of this electricity generated by solar harvesting, and we got very many leafy vegetables. So likewise, if we can grow some balcony, something like that, we can make while maintaining everything, and we can maintain the plant health also using various bioproducts, as we are going to discuss. So these things we have to keep in our mind, and we can many times increase the yield. Regenerative agriculture, this was the oldest, our pattern, our ancestors, they have been doing. That we should not forget. We have to make use so that we can maintain the fertility of the soil and we can minimize very many diseases. Now coming to the non-conventional, now I will focus where this Sharda University, because we have got very strong engineering school, we have got basic sciences school, we have got agricultural sciences. So this triangle, when we make, we can solve very many problems of high-tech agriculture which we talk today. Now coming to the Internet of Things, IoT. This provides an alternative to traditional method of agriculture used in agriculture. An IoT device contains one or more sensors that collect data and provide accurate information via mobile applications. That is important. Of other means in real time. What is going on in the field, what the plant needs, what the soil needs, how much fertilizer is to be used, what is to be sprayed. This we can get information on our mobile app. These sensors perform countless activities such as soil temperature and humidity, sensing, plant and livestock tracking, and so on, so on. These send on-time alerts so that we can take corrective measure well in time. So always it is better to prevent rather than curing the disease once it appears. Now agriculture robots, at various places these are being used. We thought this thing, using agricultural robot in a place where human cannot work. The example I'll cite, there is a plant, grows abundantly in Leh Ladakh region, high mountain region, desert region, cold desert, Shivakthor. Leh berry juice was made. What the problem there was, how to pluck the berries of this plant. Because human cannot pluck because of the height, because of the climatic conditions and the thorns. So we thought, why should not we make some device, the robot type things, which perform the duty as the human perform. So that is the example, and this can help minimize the problem of shortage of laborers at very many places. The problem is further amplified in case of large field operations. Manufacturing agricultural robot to assist farmers in many agri practices like fruit picking, as I exampled, harvesting, planting, transplanting, spraying, where toxicity problems are there for the human being. Seeding and weeding, farmers are increasingly relying on robot to automate repetitive tasks in the field in the need of the hour. Robo can be used in automated systems for livestock management. We can also go for their feeding. We can also go for their milking by machines. Thus, human-induced error can be minimized besides providing convenience through automation. We can bring in real sense the automation in agri sector. Now, another important part where Sharda University has got a lot of strength, we can join hands. Those who are participants here, those who wish, application of artificial intelligence, machine learning, very important part. We have got a center here. Incorporating AI in agriculture provides farmers with real-time insight into their field conditions, allowing them to be proactive. AI offers predictive insights for forecasting weather, crop yield, and prices, thereby aiding farmers to make informed decisions. They can take the decision well in advance. So decision-making system can be developed. AI and ML algorithms automate anomaly and disease recognition in plants and livestock. These enable timely detection of diseases for taking corrective measures if required well in advance. And then the thing which is being used today also, the drones, unmanned aerial vehicles. The question only is the cost. Because initially I remember when DRDO was developing this thing for combat or some security thing, the one drone was costing, I remember in 2001 from Israel, and US 1 crore with night vision device. 1 crore, hand-driven. Now you see the development, the scientific input. Every home is making these small UAVs. The only thing is day vision and night vision camera and auto piloting system. If we can make night vision camera and auto piloting, I think we can further minimize the cost. So unmanned aerial vehicle help farmers overcome various problems in effective way. Drones collect raw data we have been using for various marriage party ceremonies. Why not we make use of this thing for our own agricultural purposes, which translates into useful information for farm monitoring. These can be equipped with day and night camera to facilitate aerial imaging and surveillance we can make of near and far stretched fields. This data can optimize the application of fertilizer, water, seeds, pesticides, as we are discussing, pesticide by pesticide, and can drive precision agriculture in real sense. What is in fact required? What biological system needs? That has to be understood and that has to be applied. Moreover, drones facilitate livestock tracking, geofencing, and grazing monitoring. The images which are captured range from simple visible light, UV range, to multispectral imaging for any kind, and also the night vision, which help in analysis of crops and soil field. So application of these electronic devices, which I call high-tech agriculture application for, I think will be an aid to enhance the productivity. So the commercialization part, not will be discussing much of agri products by farmers himself, because whatever produce he receives after cropping, and agri-technologies by scientists and engineers offers them a challenging gray area where unlimited scope exists in this competitive world. Therefore, agri-sector now needs multidisciplinary approach. Earlier we thought we will work in isolation. This theory now does not work. We have to join hands with many other disciplines to find out the combined solutions. Now, one thing I would like, I'll dwell for 1 minute, though it is not World Protection Summit WVS. Now, in research part, project management term, this WVS stands for, I will emphasize towards Ansari Saab, work breakdown structure. This thing I am now establishing the correlations, work breakdown structure. And the plant system is one of the best example. How this work breakdown system works for flagship programs, say hundreds of crores, thousands of crores, how we divide the work and how we harvest the fruit of this program. So we should take this lesson from the plant. What is the function of the root? What is the function of the stem? What is the function of the leaf to synthesize, to photosynthesis, and to bear the fruits which we harvest and we use? So similar pattern, what I feel today, it is very befitting forum, WVS, I will call work breakdown structure. For all these research and development, we are taking up how to distribute the work which one can do in very smooth, seamless manner, so that we harvest the fruit for the mankind, and we go for enhanced productivity of the agriculture. So with these few words, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I welcome you all once again, and I hope that this platform will provide unique opportunity for discussing so many things to find out solution. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences, Sharda University, intends to collaborate with the World BioProtection Forum, UK, for the purpose of facilitating training in the field of biocontrol research, education, and collaboration for meetings and symposia. The collaboration between the World BioProtection Forum and Sharda School of Agricultural Sciences shall be of long-term nature and beneficial for both the organizations. I now welcome Professor Bhuvnesh Kumar, Dean Research and Chairman WBF, Dr. Minshad Ansari for MOU exchange, please.
Thank you very much. Yes. Ever growing cooperation, scientific papers. As sir said very rightly, we sign very many MOUs, but how to make them active? Very important. Let me try.
Thank you so much. I would now like to invite our first industry keynote speaker, Mr. Harshvardhan, President, IPL Biologicals India. Mr. Harshvardhan is a modern-age entrepreneur who has taken a difficult industry of agri-biological products and turned it into a successful business. He has studied at Millfield, UK, and subsequently done his management at ISB Hyderabad. Since then, he has been involved in running and providing visionary leadership to IPL Biologicals Limited. Under his leadership, IPL has become a global leader in agri-biologicals with over 50 registered products in bioprotection and bionutrition. We welcome you, sir.
Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. My topic today is the future of biocontrol. I'm very excited to talk on this. Unfortunately, my presentation, there's some technical glitch, so it's not on, but I'll do my best to kind of get my points across to you. Just a brief introduction on IPL. IPL was incorporated in 1994. We did research on our products, set up the manufacturing and got the regulatory approvals. 2001 is when we hit the market for the first time. So we have an experience of around 22 years of dealing directly with the farmers. Me personally, I've been involved with the company since 2011, full time. Before that, of course, through my school days, college days, I was always being part of the company, so my experience goes a little bit longer. So the first, we want to start with discussing about the biggest problems we see in agriculture today in India and globally. The first one will be soil degradation. So I have a very good example here. Around 5 years ago, I was doing a field visit. We were in the Ganganagar area, and I met this farmer who was growing a citrus crop, Mosambi. And 4 years prior to that, his land had started becoming barren. And he was losing his plants, the productivity was going down, and he thought he's going to lose all his production over there. IPL staff somehow met him, convinced him to use the product. So when I met him, he was very thankful that we've been able to regenerate the soil, and now all the plants of the issue was resolved. So yes, soil degradation is definitely a very big challenge, but also a very positive solution is out there. I think the second biggest problem right now is pest resistance. If I have to give some example of the recent years in India, whitefly and pink bollworm, I think in cotton created a very big havoc. A lot of farmer suicides also happened, and it was a big loss. So I think this is a big problem. Together we have to try and counter that in the future. The third biggest problem is that how are these chemicals affecting the environment and people around it. So I think there are two very good examples for this as well. Cancer train from the north, and the problem of excessive use of endosulfan in the south, and especially in the Kasaragod district. For those who don't know, kids who were being born over there were being born deformed, and there's a direct correlation of excessive use of these pesticides over there. So together, again, this is another challenge which we have to we have to ensure that some of these problems are never, we can fight it in the future. The last problem, we see that the microbiome and organic matter in the soil is depleting at a very fast pace, and we know that it's going to cause a big issue, so it's definitely a challenge we have to overcome. Well, I had a slide here to give you some data on how the soil is degrading and how much cultivation is going down, but I don't have any points on that. But I would like to quote Mr. Sadhguru here. He's done a very good campaign on Save the Soil. So he went to, I think, America, and also this being not only an Indian issue but a global issue. So I think all the big leaders and thought processors and influencers of policies right now are aware of how important the soil quality is. So definitely we're going to see that a lot of solutions and suggestions come, and we take the soil degradation very seriously. I want to talk about some of the stakeholders which we see in this industry. So as a farmer in general, if you want to keep it short, what does a farmer want? A farmer wants a good, healthy soil which can give him income for the future 10, 20, 30, 40 years of the future. And of course, he wants better returns. Consumers today they want safe and healthy food. Well, there is a small portion of consumers who are also looking for organic food. Industry has to cater to the need of farmers and customers. So they will have to invest, they will have to innovate, and they will also have to adapt to these changes. I think the industry will be geared up to meet the demands of the consumers. Food companies today also, you'll see a lot of these articles are coming out on how they are talking about commitment to sustainability. Regenerative agriculture is again being a very big part of these discussions as well. So when you talk about sustainability in agriculture or regenerative agriculture, microbial or biocontrol, without these products, I think none of these things can be achieved. Very briefly, I would like to talk about the Indian market. I don't have the name of the report on this, it was on my presentation. Anyways, Indian market is expected to grow from 64 million to 130 million by 2027 at a CAGR of 9.38%. As per our estimates and our prediction, I think this is a very modest prediction. I think we will be growing at more than 18 to 20%. I'm going to talk about the key drivers in future. Globally, the market is around 6.6 billion and it is pegged to grow at 13.7 billion at a CAGR of 15.8. But outlier here is Brazil. Brazil is it's the second biggest market for biopesticides right now in the world, but it's doubling every 2 years and it's pegged to overtake America by 2025. So definitely when I say India at 9.3% is very low is because if a country with such a high number of Brazil can double every year, I'm sure India can kind of look at it and together we can grow the market much higher than 18%. So what will be the biggest key drivers for the future of biocontrols? I think the number one has to be product performance. There have been a lot of companies who've been doing research for the past 20, 30 years, and everyone has very great success stories on how they've been able to control pesticides and diseases. So I think product performance is going, because the products are working so well, today we are here talking about it, other companies will have. So I think this is going to be the biggest driver, that these products do really work and it's been proven now. The second is definitely the government support. So the government has a very big fertilizer subsidy bill also, plus they have a lot of focus on organic products, Sikkim being one of our pioneer states for organic. Other states are also coming up. So there's definitely a lot of support from government, but I think today somehow the government is not, the policy for government to invest in research right now is not conducive. So we are trying to take it up with the respective associations. So hopefully the government can support us a little bit there. The IPM and INM approach, so integrated pest management, integrated nutrient management approach, is being promoted by a lot of companies, government and farmers. So I think this will be a very big driver. The biggest driver for growth in biocontrol, biopesticides are going to be the new entrants and expansion. Right now, there have only been small companies like ours who've been doing work, or a few regional companies who've created very good products but working only in a few states in the country. We have very limited resources. We have to go and open areas. We have to work with dealers, farmers. So our capacity to reach the farmer is not too much. But in the last 2-3 years, I'm seeing a very big shift with all big companies, be it Indian multinational, international, big multinationals from abroad, or the big Indian companies. They all have an eye in this food. They are coming, they are looking at biopesticides, and they know this is the future. So I can definitely tell you that all the boardrooms right now are talking about biologicals and microbials. So I think when these guys come in, they have the kind of infrastructure. They can take products to the farmers very easily, very fast. They have a very good system, sales team. So I think this is going to be a biggest driver. When the more people come, I think the market will grow at a very fast pace. We spoke about, of course, the biggest drivers are going to be residue and resistance. I kind of spoke over it before. In future trends, I think microbial will lead the revolution, definitely. But also agtech and precision agriculture is evolving at a very fast pace. A lot of companies are coming in and they are doing great work. So I am personally not too aware of it, but I can be definite that a few groundbreaking research will be done through them, and it's going to help in agriculture in the future. Carbon credit monetization system has been worked in USA for this already. So what carbon credits should be given to farmers who are using microbial products and producing, because we are saving carbon. There are a couple of companies, including us, who are trying to make a model for the farmers in India on how the farmers can avail this benefit. It's definitely a few years away, but it is also going to be a very big driver. To conclude, this is the beginning of a major change in how agriculture will be done in the future. Awareness amongst all stakeholders is very high right now, and at this hour, I think everyone is working towards sustainability. So perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Dr. Ansari and Sharda University for organizing this event. I'll be here for the next 5-6 hours, so I'll be very happy to interact with anyone, companies, students, faculty, anyone. I'll be happy to chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Our sincere apologies for the inconvenience caused because of the technical glitch. We'll rectify it post this inaugural session. We have with us the guest of honor, Dr. H.P. Singh, former Deputy Director General, Horticulture and former Horticulture Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture. Sir has contributed significantly to horticultural research and management and development and also human capital formation in his distinguished career spanning 37 years. His outstanding contributions are in genetic resource management of perennial horticulture, development of cultivars, and production system-based technologies, nutrient and water management, and fruit biotechnology. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time today and coming to the conference. I now invite you for your remarks, please.
Good morning to all of you. Dr. Ansari, the founder and chairperson for this BioProtection Forum. Professor Dolly, Dean of the School of Agriculture. Dr. Gaur, Professor of Agriculture, former Dean, former Vice Chancellor. Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar, who gave in very detailed sustainability in agriculture and what we have to do. Harshvardhan, just we heard about the pesticide, which is one of the upcoming industry, IPL, biological. Started way back in 94. And they used to come to me in 98. At the time, question was there, will it be a big industry or not? But today when Harshvardhan explained that it has exceeded 100 crores, it means there is a sustainable development is taking place and it will grow much more. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to be here. And I thank Dr. Gaur for inviting me here to interact with you. A few points before I come to the biological control. Agriculture in India has moved very dynamically, contributed by the scientists, farmers, and policy planners. Just imagine when we had the independence, it was very difficult to feed the 36 crores of the population with more land than what we have today. It means we are just producing 50 million tons of the crops, 25 million tons of the horticulture crops, very little of milk, eggs, all were in the shortage at the time. People used to depend for the food to come from America. I remember when I was in the college, then our Honorable Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri, has called for a day fast on Monday, so that at least the saved food can be made available to others. That was the situation somewhere in 64, 65. But thanks to the scientists there. Okay, in the process of doing so, we make some mistakes. The same thing happened. We wanted to get the food for the bellies. And in that process, sustainability question was not there. At the time, we thought how to produce more to feed the people. Resultantly, we used more of the pesticides. We used more of the fertilizer. And the productivity of land declined, and then we thought of diversification. So, in late 80s, diversification was thought, which was implemented more effectively with the turn of the century. In diversification, we talked about the horticulture, we talked about the fisheries, we talked about the livestock. And of course, definitely, this made a lot of dividend in terms of increased production and productivity. Currently, if you look, just because you are in the Amrit period of our independence, that is, we have 75 years of our independence. If you just compare from the 50s to today, the crops has grown by more than 6 to 7 times. Horticulture by more than 12 times. Just from the 25 million tons, we have reached to 333 million tons. Livestock by 4 to 5 times. Milk production 6 to 7 times. Fisheries production more than 9 times. So everywhere we have seen that change has taken place. At the time, we are not talking about the sustainability, we are talking about sustainability. But the question becomes, what is the sustainability? How many of us we know that the term has been used more frequently, but how do you know that what is the sustainability? Yes, sustainable means, in simple word I could say, we should give more than what we got. It means, what is the amount of water you got, we must have to give to your generation at least same amount of water. Whatever natural other resources we got, we must give more than that what we have. You give the environment what you got, not like the environment what you have got today. With more of the carbon changing, climate change and all that it is happening. And that is the sustainability. So everybody has been talking about sustainability, and so that means create the environment, use the resources in a manner that we don't use excessive, and later phase when our children are there, they suffer for want of water, for want of land, for want of whatsoever. At the same time, we have to also meet the food security, what has been talked just now in more details about the food security. But when you talk of the food security, many times people get confused. They only talk of food security means only production of rice, maize, and wheat. That is food security. No. As defined by the FAO, the food security means we must provide the food to the people to make them efficient in working. And how it can happen? That can only happen that besides the starch, means besides the paddy, rice, wheat, you give the micronutrients, you give the vitamins. And when you talk of that, there's the horticulture and livestock has to play a very significant role. And that is the food security. And that was realized. Earlier, all the people were just thinking that food security means the only producing rice and wheat. Even when I came to the Ministry of Agriculture in way back in 97 as a Commissioner of Horticulture, then my secretary was Kamal Pandey, who became the Cabinet Secretary later on. He was also Home Secretary and so on. Tough, very, very tough secretary. I proposed that mission on horticulture. Virtually my file was thrown up. So what you are talking of the mission on horticulture, you have to think of the food security. Then I had to, after some time, I have to take the time with him, explain to him what is the food security, and without nutrition, people are not secured of the food, and then we have to bring the nutrition. And if you think of the nutrition, horticulture has to play a very significant role. And that was the reason that after the great struggle, I was successful in bringing in the mission on horticulture. Many of you must have heard about it. It is running across the country. A result has been that from at the time, our production of the horticulture crops was hardly about 35 million tons. And less than the crops yield. But we have crops. We have crossed. The horticulture has crossed the production of the food grains, pulses, and so on. Means it has 333 million tons compared to that. Now we have the food production is around 115 million tons. So we have crossed long back. And that has been the impact of this mission on horticulture. Now realization is for the good health. People have the more of expendable income. So they are going for more of the fruits and vegetables. And when you talk of the fruits and vegetables, here the biocontrol becomes very, very essential. Because many times we hear that so many of the pesticides are used in the vegetables and fruits, and that becomes harmful to us. It may cause the various kinds of diseases. To safeguard that, there is a need for the management system wherein no residues of the chemicals are left. When we talked of this, then idea came about the organic farming. Government of India started promoting organic farming way back in 95 itself. We have started promoting organic farming. Then, of course, internationally also some importance of organic farming was given. And here also in the Government of India, the committee was constituted for developing a technology for organic farming, and I happen to be the chairperson for that for almost 6 to 7 years for promoting of actually developing the standards, which was operated initially by the APEDA, and then various ministries, various other organizations were also given for this accreditation system. So we were moved, but we could not move so much, because there regions are there. Because invariably, when we have gone for the organic farming, the yield reduction has come, which means we have to develop a technology where there is no yield reduction. Whatever you do, at least 20 to 30% yield reduction is there. So the farmers will only adopt if they get 30% more income through the sale. It means the cost has to be compensated by 30% more cost to the produce which is produced organically. Now the government is also promoting natural farming, because they started, some people talked about zero budget farming, but these are all only words, I would say. That of course government in the zero budget farming, they have come to the natural farming, which is again natural farming or regenerative agriculture, both are the same. Regenerative agriculture depends upon the crop rotations. It means grow the crops in a manner that they are synergistic to each other. It means, in simple word, you can say that if you are growing the gramineous crop like wheat, maize, rice, they must have in the cycle, they must have the pulses which will give some nitrogen. So that way you have to have the rotation. Now we have seen that many of these crops rotations, they are also synergistic. I have seen that when papaya is grown after banana, they are more productive. Or vice versa, if after papaya you grow banana, they are more productive. After analysis, you could find that the banana requires more of potash, while the phosphorus requires less of potash. So the availability created a balance. So that is a rotation, crop rotation. Then we have the maintaining the natural enemies, because in the process of our development, what I said in the Green Revolution when it came, some mistakes were made. Mistake was excessive use of pesticides here and there. Resultantly, we killed many of the natural enemies. So now in the regenerative farming, we want to create that normal, natural system wherein there are predators, parasites, either it may be the insect parasites or they may be parasitoids. Parasitoids are like wasp and other things. Then you have the various funguses which controls. And of course, there are many insects which controls the other insect. We call it parasite or predators. That system, a natural system has to come. And in this natural system, we have to bring in, we have to put more. Then only it will be effective. Now, there are classical examples of the management of various pests and diseases through the biological means. If you remember about a few years back, there was a crisis in the case of papaya. The mealybug, Palococcus, that became so serious that a large number of plantations were being killed. Government of India, in the parliament, this was a matter of discussion. But again, thanks to here, the institute, at the time it was called the Institute for the Biological Control, which has become now the natural resources, that is now Bureau for the agriculturally important resources, insect resources. That has become, it's in Bangalore. So they came out with some imported, of course, that worked very well, and that mealybug was controlled. There are many examples. Even in case of coconut, we have of course, IPL has also developed the various microbes. If you look to the fungus, Bacillus thuringiensis, that became very, very important for the management of many of Lepidopterous pests. That's quite effective, especially for the borers and all that. And the same has been now used for transformation. Transformation in case of the cotton, that it has been, Bacillus thuringiensis gene has been used. So that is also moving on. Similarly, we have Pseudomonas. We have also the Trichoderma, which is very effective. Just now, the question was asked that in the last 50 or 70 years, although we talked of the biocontrol, why it is moving very slow? The reasons are that in the biofertilizer, when you apply into the field, they are not so effective as they are effective in the case of the greenhouse. Greenhouse means when you do the trials with these biofertilizers, they show a lot of effective difference. But when it goes to the field, that results are not there. Resultantly, the biofertilizer could not grow so much. It has grown, but not so much. The reasons are, it is just like that. If you go into the particular village, as an unknown person, the people will surround you. They may think that you are the bad for them, and they may even kill you. That happens. If you go to Andaman, some of the island, if you go there, they may kill you, because they may think that enemies are coming. So same thing is happening with microbes also. When you take into the field, there are a large number of other microbes are there, which you cannot even isolate. You cannot make them to grow. And they may attack. And your microbes, which is going there, you are putting into the field, they may not survive, they may not multiply. Sometimes is that reason. Sometimes they do not have the organic matter, the promoters with them, which can promote them. Because everywhere you need promoters who can create a situation where you can survive in much better manner. The actinomycetes, I have seen that actinomycetes, this work quite well as a promoter. Many of my microbiologist friends who have been asking, I have been telling them, this you have to look into. And we did some trials quite some time back, that using the actinomycetes developed through the system of the wormy wash, which contains a lot of actinomycetes, and that wormy wash is applied, and after that this microbe were applied, they were effective to stabilize in the field. So this is one of the reasons that we have to have. Another thing is that, which is why it is not, because this product, there is some question, of course. The other reason is that it is a slow action. Just like, we depend on more on a paracetamol or something like that if we have to, or even, some another medicine which can give you the immediate control. But many of these biocontrol agents, they are protective in nature. They will protect. But if already infestation has taken place, few of them can only control them, but that will be slow. So people go for the chemical. So we have to slowly teach them. But now the situation is coming. When the people are conscious, you can say that even people are ready to pay more for the this organically produced food. So things are changing, and people are also trying to do that. And even in India, the market is growing at quite fast rate, and it has been very well explained by the Mr. President from the IPL, that how the market is growing. And in my opinion, as these things are changing toward the organically produced food, toward the regenerative agriculture, sustainable agriculture, and so on, these biomaterials are going to be the more and more important in future. And that's why the market is also to be grown, and that definitely it will require the innovations, it will require the better of the technologies to make it more effective and to protect it. And then question comes about regulations also. Earlier there were no regulations at all in India for biomaterials. But now regulations have come, standards have been developed, and IPL has got most of the product which is already certified by them. Earlier it was not, so that still that problem continues because a spurious material is also coming on the name of the biomaterial. So how to control that? And that will only happen, the branding, effective branding. Like IPL product, if you say that this IPL product, people can purchase it because that is assured about their quality. So that way the branding will be very, very important of any product so that they assure the quality. And definitely this is going to have the more impact in the future. So I thank this Sharda University, this School of Agriculture, and also the BioProtection Forum for organizing such a meeting where in some changes, exchange of the information will be there. And you know that always when we sit together and discuss in the matter, something new comes. And that is just like Amrit. When you say that when the Samudra Manthan किया गया था तो उसमें से अमृत निकला था और वो अमृत क्या था वो ज्ञान रूपी अमृत था तो अभी जो when we are going to steer and think of this biomaterial, biopesticides and so on and through the discussion and all something new will come and that we can work together so the biomaterial future will be much greater than what today. So I think that this type of discussion will help us. Thank you very much for listening me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we come to the closing ceremony of this inaugural session. I invite you all for a cup of tea outside in the foyer area of the auditorium. We'll come back and meet after 15 minutes. Thank you.
Before you go, just I want to remind that we are already late and we have to speed up. I always used to say that industry is like running and academia is like very much walking. Now we have to run this one, otherwise some of the people who has been basically already here will have a very difficult, and we don't want to disappoint anyone. So let's have a 15 minutes quick break and then come and start that what innovation we have done it. And I'm going to present my presentation first, and I want to ignite all industry. So let's do it. No, it's not coming. Do it more. The Indian biocontrol industry is going to lead the world. Yes or no? Yes. Just come back then.
Hello.
आगे अब
Hello.
it's fine.
All of you are requested to please come back. The session will start. Those who are outside, please come back. बोलो ना जोर से.
हाँ मैं चेक क्लियर ना हो ओके क्या हो गया था वो एक्चुअली सर वो वायर करवा दिया क्लियर
हो गया, अब तो नहीं होगा ना, दिक्कत नहीं.
नहीं अब नहीं होगा
सर अब जो पीपीटीज हैं
हाँ हाँ
ये लगनी है, तो इसका क्या कैसे रहेगा? आपका तो आपका है.
हाँ
इसके बाद
कहाँ चला गया ये नहीं पहले मेरा आएगा ना हाँ फिर वो इसी में है
पहले तो कि वो चेयर है ना